Hey y'all, how's it going? I hope you're well over there, wherever you are, whenever you are, whoever you are, however you are. Thanks for watching the channel and supporting this. And real quick, I'm gonna give y'all like a minute, 2 minute little caveat real quick. I just wanna say, if you're watching this channel already, you're so ahead of the game. You're so far ahead of the game. And it's really cool because, a lot of videos don't get watched unless they have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers or views already, and y'all are watching the videos that have like less than 100 views, and y'all really locking in with me, and I really do appreciate y'all, because there's a lot of people who have things to say about the afterlife or about the spiritual world or about these things and whatnot. And honestly, I feel even more led to share on this channel, because I feel like I can share with y'all from a source because I know, who am I, right? Who am I? I'm just a regular guy, whatever. But I have experienced the higher dimension. I have been blessed enough to, to say that, to be able to say that. So I feel like I can, I'm not trying to lead y'all astray, and this is not spiritual advice or whatever. This is not to change your life. This is just to help you see a little more clearly of what's going on, because I feel like I have a very strong understanding of the framework here in the third dimension and how it interplays with the higher realms and what we're doing here. It's all connected. So with that being said, let's get into it, because there's a lot of things to talk about. So this one in particular is going to be a little bit more my opinion, but if I can give that, little preface, it'll help me to not have to be so politically correct. Okay, so there's a lot of dimensions, right, that we talk about, or you may have heard before. And the fifth dimension is being, kind of like the buzzword right now. And, a lot of people will skip over the fourth dimension. And I truly feel like the fourth dimension is, it is kind of elusive, to a lot of people, but I feel like it is the mental plane. It is it is the space between here and the fifth dimension. The only thing that's keeping you in the fifth dimension apart from each other is literally the mental, the mind, like your soul, and how all these things connect, right? Your chakras and your mind, because your mind is what's driving you, right? Your heart and your soul, is kind of what's holds that longing to be home. But your mind is, how your heart works through life to find what it's looking for, right? Your mind is what allows you to do that, right? So, but the mind can be tricky. It is a tool, and for a lot of people, it is something that's, it can be used against yourself. You can use your own thoughts against yourself, right? Self-sabotage. We all know what this is, like self-fulfilling prophecies type shit. And a lot of people, they say that the fourth dimension is time, right? And I have to disagree. The fourth dimension, in my opinion, is really not time. Time exists everywhere in any dimension. Time is just, it's relevant, right, to the viewer. All time is it's the same thing, but just in a different state. If you're looking at a chart that's got a dot on it and on two coordinates on the X and Y, and then you got another chart with a coordinate and the dot is on somewhere else on the X and Y, that's literally time. It's just two different things in the same place, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's two things on the same plane and it at a different state. Same plane, different state, right? Even right now, starting this video to the end of the video, cool, time. Whatever. But it's the word in the meaning, right? Time is kind of a tricky word, because it's only relevant, and us as humans, we come to believe in time in a lot more ways than I think we should. But on the spiritual plane, I don't believe it's time that is the fourth dimension. I feel like, yes, in the fourth dimension we are able to transcend time, but time is not the fourth dimension. I truly believe the fourth dimension is the mind, the mental plane, because it exists, but it doesn't exist here. And we can experience it, but we don't experience it here. We experience it here. right? Higher, a little higher than than this plane, a little bit, right? But it is connected. It is connected. Just like the second dimension and the third dimension are connected, right? The 2D planes and the 3D planes go hand in hand. Well, the mental goes hand in hand, right? The mental is where we transcend time, right? You can think about the past, you can think about the future. You can conjure any object in your mind, and so forth. It's constantly shifting. It's not staying at one place. It's constantly moving, just like you see in those diagrams of these fourth dimensional objects. It's constantly moving. It doesn't stay still. Just like us as humans, right? We can go to the same place every day. I can come out here every day, and it's going to hold the same frequency, right? But me, as a human, going through this whole experience, internally, I'm different every day. I'm always shifting. I'm constantly shifting. The moment I come out here, I'll be in a certain state of mind or a certain mood. And then by the time I leave, I'll be in a new state of mind, mood. Like, that's just how humans are. We're not stationary. We don't just stay on one mood and one thing like a freaking statue. We're constantly moving internally, right? Because there's a world inside of us that's hyperactive, that's always on, that's always moving, always looking for something, always doing something, always consuming, right? Fire. And then we also have things that are more stoic, right? Things that are more still, are more, stationary, whatever you want to call it, right? It's more of the physical. So that thing that's keeping us constantly moving is our mind. It's our internal realm interacting with out here, right? And that fourth dimension is the mind. It exists. We can experience. We can see it, but it is a dimension that has its own tricks and everything, just like the third dimension. There's a certain nuances to the third dimension that you have to understand. There's certain poisonous food that you can't eat. There's certain things that you have to do. You have to till the ground. You have to, drink water. There's aspects and rules to the third dimension, right? In order to survive it and in order to thrive it within it. And a lot of these universal laws exist in higher realms, such as the mental plane, right? But people don't want to talk about the mental plane, even though it's literally the other half of what we're doing. And you have to get these two in alignment in order to have your kundalini, do what it's supposed to. Because when you understand that, it opens up the door, right? Like, and now I'm gonna start getting into, honestly, with this channel, I'll probably start getting into more things that is less about the basics of these four dimensional things and whatnot. And if y'all get the foundation for these things, now we can start to get into some cooler subjects, some more advanced topics, because what's going on is you have to look at the third dimension as an external thing, but also as one thing, all in itself, right? Kind of like the Truman Show, right? Like the whole thing was just a setup for him, right? And sometimes you have to have that kind of look or perspective on the world, that it's all just one thing. It's just you and the world. And the world it's just a real time feedback of whatever is going on inside of you. And you have to get to a point where you're so still that anything outside of you that's happening, anybody can come up to you and be like, yo, what's he doing? Or what's she doing? They're just like sitting there with their eyes closed, like, okay, like, y'all gonna do anything else? Like, you literally can have people come up to you and walk around you and do all sorts of stuff and say stuff, but you have to be so in tune that when you're hearing these people talk or you're hearing these things talk, you're not reacting to it like, oh, like I have to say something back, or oh, they're talking to me, or oh, I feel this sort of way about it. You have to just listen to it like it's just the universe playing with you. Like it's not just the human, it's the universe coming through you, through a human, saying, oh, what are they doing? Oh, are they really trying to go for it this time? Like, what is going on? It's like they're kind of playing with you, right? The universe is playing with you in that kind of way, but it's through human, and humans a lot of them are disconnected. So they don't even realize that they're being the tendrils of the universe. But you have to look at it that way in order to transcend the third. So start to look at the third in more ways than just a disconnect, right? You have to look at it like it's something that's all like kind of like a waiting room, right? Kind of like those social experiments when everybody's in a waiting room, and that's the experiment, is that like however long you decide to wait is how long you're there. know what I mean? Like we'll do those experiments, and then when somebody leaves, and they're like, okay, whatever. And then by the time the last person finally leaves, they figured out that the experiment was just that. How long were they willing to wait before they decided to leave? And it's kind of, it's really like that in a lot of ways. This whole thing is kind of a waiting room for the higher plane, but it's also kind of waiting for you, giving you the space and allowing you to come to your own understanding of that, come to your own. The universe has to see that you have that oversight. You have the eye, right? You have the eye where you can see it and be like, like the eye of the mystic. You have to kind of know that there's more going on at play. You can't just take it for face value, because the universe knows there's beings that are interacting with this and we don't even know. Like we have feelings, but like we don't know because we can't see them. But there's like beings that are more light than we are and can walk among us, like ghosts or whatever, that observe, But there's so much more going on than what we understand. And you have to kind of be able to take a moment to listen to it, listen to the whole thing, right? Get out of the words, see it for what it is. Don't only just take things at face value or for the value of what somebody told you. Even now with these videos, like I'm trying to help y'all, so hey, you can value it. I hope you do, but at the same time, you know what to do. Like what works for you, what resonates with you. So I'm just here to help lift up my fellow people, That's literally the job. That's literally what I'm here to do, and I understand it. I understand it now. And what greater work is there for me to do than this, I have other personal things that I like to do, but I understand that, like, when it comes to what I'm here to do and how us as a people need to find our way home, and to know that I've had that experience for myself, it's, what else can I, what else am I supposed to do with it? So, but yeah, time, in my opinion, that's not the direction we should be going in when we're talking about higher dimensions. It's not time. You got to get over your mind. We have to learn. Mental health is a huge thing nowadays. We have to really, really understand our mind, because a lot of people get tricked up with their mind. Like, people know physically how their body works. Like, if I hurt myself, okay, I got a scar, and when it heals up, okay, the scar is gone. And if I do something, if I keep picking at it, the scar is going to stay there, right? If I need to work on my muscles, right? Cool. I'm going to have to go through some sort of pain to get my muscles to be big. And that's a universal aspect of it. And in the mind, it's the same thing. You have to actually work on aspects of your mind. You have to understand that you're weak at certain points. And it's not for somebody else to have to be like, cater to your weaknesses. It's up to you to get stronger. It's up to you to find and see from moments and learn over time. Oh yeah, I wasn't supposed to do that. Oh yeah, I got embarrassed from trying to do that. Or that didn't work out how I wanted it to. Or I kind of feel bad. That's not really who I am. That's not who I want to be. Whatever, and even in positive ways too. But I'm just talking about the things that a lot of humans we can kind of skirt around mental health, and skirt around not just mental health, but like mental strength, and not just trying to be baseline of like, oh, okay, like we need to cater to everybody's weaknesses. It's like, no, we're getting too soft mentally, and in the spiritual world, you cannot be soft mentally. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you right now. If you're trying to be a spiritual person and you are mentally soft, it's not the place. It's not the place, I'm telling you, because you will get your feelings hurt quick. And because you also are supposed to be hurting feelings too. Not always, but like that's also part of the job. You know what I mean? You're not here on a larger scale when your ancestors and everybody who's with you, they know how life works. They know how delicate this is. They know how time can get away from people, They know you only have so much time here. Like your ancestors looking at you like, damn, like, fuck, if you stick with this person, that's 3 years out of your life. That's like 5 years. Like, you don't got that much time. Like, we know, we've done it. And so they're not going to play. They don't care about that person who's in front of you. You know, a lot of humans will get too caught up on just like not trying to, you know, step on toes or whatever, or hurt people's feelings. But honestly, on the spiritual side, that's not what it's about. It's not about just catering to the weakest link. Y'all get ate up. Get ate up for real. So you gotta, you know, and it's not to say that, oh, it's, you know, you have to be strong. You have to be strong. That's all it is. You have to be strong. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just because we were built to be strong. God designed us to be strong. We have to not look at things like, oh, we're the victim, or oh, like why would this happen to us? Like, look at the animals that have survived for ages. Even with us here, like, they survive. They find a way to eat. They find a way to build a house. They find a way to raise a family. They find a way. They can't complain and pray every time something goes wrong. They can't, if it's a cold day and they have no sort of heat, they can't complain and pray about it. They have to endure it. But what's up, buddy? Sorry. But they were designed to be strong. They were designed to be strong already. The work has been done for them to have that experience and for them to overcome. It's just, will you overcome, or will you focus on the issues rather than how to solve them? All right. This video's kind of been over a general kind of topic, but I'm more so, I know I keep doubling down on, tripling, quadrupling down on the fourth dimension, but I do think it's important because that's when we get caught up. That's where, like, a lot of us humans hit our head and we come back down and take the blue pill and we go back to it. And so I'm trying to help and reinforce that y'all need to understand that the fourth dimension is your mental plane, and you have to transcend it just like you transcend the third dimension, right? To have a mentality, right? That's what separates us from the beasts, is that we have this connection to the fourth dimension more. And we're more like fourth dimensional type of beings here on the third, rather than just three-dimensional type beings. Okay, so with that being said, this video's done. I'm gonna make another one, but yeah, y'all take care. I love y'all. Peace.